What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in.
You know, Anthony Davis speaks on what could have been with the Lakers this season. You know, when I hear things like that, it just sounds like somebody's defeated to me. It sounds like somebody is lost. They're losing and they're not having their way in the season. Because, I mean, you could talk about a lot of things that, could have been with the team. I mean, that's just one of those things. I mean, the Lakers could have got Buddy Hield instead of Russell Westbrook. I mean, they could have possibly got DeMar DeRozan instead of Westbrook. Would that change their season? Possibly so. But, speaking on what could have been and what actually is two different things. And when I hear things like that from any player on a team, it makes me wonder, what is their mindset? Where are they at mentally in regards to, winning and wanting to, play to their best level? And, the last couple seasons when I looked at Anthony Davis specifically, he hasn't played up to the level of expectation to me. To me, he's supposed to be the best player on the Lakers. It's still LeBron. He's more injury prone than LeBron, and LeBron is like 10 years older. And they got a player in Russell Westbrook that's just stuck somewhere in the middle. So when you look at the Lakers, it's a whole lot to not be happy about rather than the opposite. See, because not only they don't play defense, they just really don't fit as a team, as I've said in many videos. And the more and more you watch them, the more and more you understand that, because you just don't see the chemistry and how they can, just automatically gain some chemistry to start winning. There's only 3 games left in the season, 4 games at the most. The Lakers are down a game and a half, I believe, out of the play-in spot. So they have to hope for a miracle. And it would be good to see if the miracle can happen for them, because like I said, I just think the play-in tournament playoffs are definitely better with the Lakers in there, just for, fans' sake, ratings, all that stuff. So, I mean, it's very disappointing to not see a team like the Lakers, at least in the play-in tournament or the playoffs, when they're definitely good enough, or at least we thought they were good enough to make it. In the beginning of the season, when everybody was saying they were going to make it to the finals, actually, it was before the season, everybody was saying that. So, I mean, to see them not even make the play-in tournament with the expectations of them actually winning it all is very, very crazy, very demoralizing in a way of like, wow, how's that even possible? That doesn't even make sense. And for me, it doesn't make sense, because even still, with the 3 superstars or the top 75 players, all 3 top 75 players they have on their roster, they should be able to find a way to win, even though they don't have, all the defense in the world. They may not have the youngest players. They still got enough veteran leadership in that locker room to win. And when, you hear Anthony Davis say stuff like, oh, well, we would have been different if, I would have stayed healthy. We would have been different if we had Kendrick Nunn and all this other type stuff. First of all, Kendrick Nunn is a nice player, but I don't think he's the end-all, be-all. You're not going to be that much of a better team just because Kendrick Nunn plays. I mean, let's pump the brakes. He's not a superstar or anything like that, or an all-star player or anything like that. He's a nice, solid, good role player, but he's not going to make Lakerland life so much more easier. I mean, yeah, he can knock down threes and stuff like that at a high clip, but so can Malik Monk. Malik Monk could do the same thing. And actually, Malik Monk is a little bit more versatile, because he can, get to the rim, get to the basket, things like that, along with his jump shot. I mean, he's a little bit more, like I said, versatile. He can do a little bit more. He's a little bit more than being, one-dimensional. I feel like Kendrick Nunn is more one-dimensional, even though he can play a little defense too. But even still, players like that are not making the world a difference. It starts with the superstar players. You got LeBron out there scoring all these points, all these empty calories, which doesn't mean a damn thing because they're not winning. And you got Russell Westbrook out there trying to figure out his path with the team, but his path with the team is more narrow than what even he can even what he believes. And then Anthony Davis is just an injury-prone superstar player, and it's just the way it is. You can't look at it any other way. He was like that in New Orleans. I don't know why people really look at it any like different, because he was that same way in New Orleans. He stayed hurt a lot. He wasn't really dependable. When he was there, he played great. He played great when he was around, but that's the thing. Whenever he's around, he's good, but that's the problem. Whenever he is, it's not that often. And the Lakers, definitely see that. They squeezed one good championship out of him in the bubble because of the 4-month layoff, and with everything going on around the Lakers and everything, and LeBron being motivated to try to come back and win a championship, because LeBron knew that he's on his last days of the NBA. He knew that, so it's like that was his last opportunity to get a championship, especially knowing that half the league didn't want to be in the bubble. It definitely gave them the mental advantage, like, hey, we need to go out and win it, because half these guys are distracted, they don't want to be here, and they're not playing up to their level of expectation just because of the displeasure they have of being here in the bubble. But we'll make the best of it. I'm older. This might be my last championship. And I feel like that's something that motivated them to win a championship, along with the Kobe Bryant passing. And like I said, a 4-month layoff, that gave Anthony Davis time to rest. But ever since then, you haven't seen Anthony Davis play to that top 5, top 10 level that a lot of people, or should I say the NBA analysts, say that he is, or that he can be. You haven't really seen it. And, if we think about it like this, if we're playing the if game, if he somewhat stays healthy, or not even that, if he plays like a top 5, top 10 player every time he stepped on the floor this season, the Lakers would be in the play-in tournament, because the games that he did play this season, there was a lot of games where he got misplaced to me. There's a lot of games where he was not to be found in regards to dominating the game. He's getting dominated by Karl Anthony Towns, other players. Other players are making him look, average. I remember one game with the Greek Freak. Greek Freak made him look like he shouldn't even belong in the top 10, as far as like the players in the league. I mean, I don't know. Anthony Davis just doesn't play with that aggression, that dog in him. And that's the reason why I think that the Lakers are where they are. Not all because of him, but I feel like if he's supposed to be the best player on the team now that LeBron is older, he needs to be able to take a lot of the onus too. And as I said before, if whenever he's out there, we know he's injury prone, but if whenever he's out there, he plays like a top 5, top 10 player, he plays with that type of aggression and that type of mental dominance, the Lakers would definitely be in the play-in tournament. They may not be in this, I don't think they would be in the 6th seed or something like that, the actual playoff spot, but they would at least they would have a spot in the play-in tournament if he played to his level of capability every single night instead of like taking nights off. So, I mean, we can go through a lot of things of what the Lakers should have done, but regardless, LeBron, and the Lakers, they're just in a losing space right now, and it doesn't seem like it's getting any better. Doesn't seem like things are healing. It seems like everything is it's like an open wound that's not healing. It just seems like it's just getting worse, and all these excuses being thrown around in the Lakers locker room and from players, and Russell Westbrook saying all the crazy dumb things or idiotic things in the press or the post game, and Anthony Davis talking about what could have been, and LeBron mentally checking out on this team months ago and just worried about getting his own stats. It's just a mess in LA. And the only good thing LA has right now, honestly, as far as winning, honestly, it's more so the Clippers than the Lakers. And that's really weird to say, but it's true. I mean, the Clippers, I don't see them making excuses why they, what could have been this season. And, we had Kawhi Leonard, we would have been the number 1 seed in the West or number 2 seed in the West. I mean, it's no need talking about things like that, because it doesn't make any sense to talk about them, because they never happen. And who knows where they're going to happen, whether you were healthy or not. It's no guarantee. So, it's all these excuses making for the Lakers, but not enough action put behind it. And that's just the way I see the Lakers season panning out. A lot of talk, but no action behind it. And we all know what happens there. When you do a lot of talking with no action, you get what you deserve. And right now, the Lakers are getting exactly what they deserve because they put this team together with this superstar Hollywood roster, roll out the red carpet, and now we got to roll the red carpet back up because they're not even ready to make the walk. They're not ready to make that walk and show the action that they're ready to be that team. It's no showtime in LA. It's no time in LA right now for the Lakers because right now they just, like I said, they're a losing team. And these next 3 games, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose all 3 of them. I really wouldn't. I mean, you got to go out at least with some pride and some dignity, but I don't see no dignity with this team. I just see this team probably losing all 3 games. Spurs definitely will get in. The Pelicans definitely leaving their spot open. They haven't secured a spot yet, but I believe they will in the next 2 games. So, I mean, with that being said, it's over for the Lakers. And if they somehow possibly find a way to get into the play-in tournament, I don't think they can go far or do much anyway, simply because they can't really defend at all. So they can't really compete with none of the other teams that's in there because other teams that's in there play better defense and they got more chemistry than the Lakers. So, I mean, it would just be a bust for the Lakers either way. But like I said, instead of talking about what could have been, talk about what you're doing now. Talk about what you can do to improve, maybe going into next season or something like that, because this season is cooked and the Lakers are pretty much done. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section as always. And hey, Khaliis out.